Hello and welcome to the Islamic Finance Weekly. One of the biggest concerns in the global economic system today is the rising tide of inflation, which is reducing the purchasing power of citizens. From developed economies like the United States of America to frontier economies like Nigeria, it has widened the income gap and further escalated discontents, which is manifest in the recent unrest in countries like Sri Lanka, Panama, and Ecuador. The Islamic finance system post-2008 global financial crisis has served as a viable alternative to funding the sustainable development of nations, especially in the area of social finance. How is Nigeria leveraging the opportunities in Islamic social finance? This edition of the Islamic Finance Weekly will focus on achieving inclusive economic growth in Nigeria through Islamic Social Finance, and my guest is Bilikis Lawal Shuaibu, Islamic finance researcher and consultant at Fineopolis Consulting, Dubai. Bilikis joins us virtually from Malaysia. Good morning and thank you for coming on the program.
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you, and thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. Islamic finance has evolved from the 1960s and 1970s into an alternative strategic system adopted for economic development in nations like Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia post the 2008 global financial crisis. And under Islamic finance, we have Islamic Social Finance, which we are discussing today on the program. So as an Islamic finance researcher and consultant, share with us the role of Islamic social finance institutions to build the Halal industry in Nigeria.
That's a very interesting question. Before I answer your question directly, I would like to paint the picture of Halal industry in the country itself, in terms of what are the infrastructure and the problems itself. So you can see now in the industry as it is, there is no government regulation to support the industry. It's the growth of the industry. Also, there is no awareness, and the market does not understand the necessity of having the halal industry, why it's necessary, that it goes beyond just religiosity or being Islamic or being like Sharia compliant. It goes more than that. So when we look at that, we have to realize that, okay, this is one of the main issues, increasing awareness and also having the government backing. And more particularly to your question now about deploying Islamic social finance, I would say that one of the ways we could do that is by using Wakaf. And Wakaf, for example, is the cash Wakaf. So when we use cash Wakaf, we're able to get funding from the public, and then this money can either directly, channeled into halal enterprises or given as funding to halal businesses, or it could be invested indirectly. The proceeds from this could be, deployed into the industry itself, the halal industry. So these enterprises and business owners in this industry are able to get funding to be able to promote their businesses. Also, we could also use Zakat in that, among the beneficiaries of Zakat is, when someone is using for the cause of Allah. So if the Sharia scholars are in the opinion, or they agree to the fact that, we can use those funds, channel them into promoting da'wah regarding, I won't say da'wah per se, but, conversations regarding the halal industry, increasing the awareness of the halal industry, then we can also deploy Zakat funds for those purposes. I mentioned earlier about how we don't have awareness. So Zakat and Sadaqah also could be used in that. We could channel Wakaf funds and Sadaqah funds to increase awareness, have conferences, have reports, create groups of study groups and even surveys, so we can know what exactly is the problem and what does the market need and how can we address the market's need. I think finally, one of the ways I'm going to suggest is also with the social finance tool of crowdfunding. With crowdfunding, people can actually come in to donate either through debt or equity. So the masses get to even participate in this. So business owners or enterprises in this industry can come on board and tell, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is how it's going to impact the economy, and people can fund this, people can be a part of this movement. So this summarizes my opinion or my thoughts regarding this.
From your point of view, you mentioned how we can use Zakat and Wakaf in addressing social issues. How can we effectively use Zakat to reduce the practice of conventional money lenders in the country?
Okay. So with Zakat now, Zakat has a very limited scope in what it can do and to whom it can do it to. Zakat has 8 beneficiaries, the needy, the poor, the traveler, the administrators, someone that's about to convert to Islam, someone that's getting freed, and 2 more. So they have particular people that can benefit from the Zakat funds. And also in addition to that, they all have to be Muslims except one, which is someone that's about to be converted to Islam. So when we look at it from that point of view, we realize that the ability of Zakat to be able to do much in that light might be limited. But nonetheless, I think it's something that can still be done, in that Zakat funds can be channeled into like microfinance and microfinance institutions. So they either give it as card to these people that are looking for funding to finance their businesses, but then they have to be particular about it. They have to make sure they're giving it to people, those 8 categories of people. It has to be those people. So those people that are looking for financing to finance their business, they can get through those mediums, so they don't go to conventional microfinance or conventional banks or even loan sharks. Additionally, we can actually channel Zakat funds into NGOs, and this can help to fund to finance things that are not related to business. For instance, like grocery, they want to buy grocery, or their health needs, or their educational needs and likes. But we have to make sure that the Zakat itself is institutionalized. So there's correct auditing. So we make sure that even in the microfinance institutions and the NGOs, they are like correct procedures, and they're making sure that this money the funds are actually going to where they're supposed to go, and it's not being dispersed dispersed that's not in line with Sharia. So lastly, one of the things I want to even add is that we can also actually even put it into cooperatives, Muslim cooperatives that are in accordance with the 8 categories of Asnaf. Maybe an example could be cooperatives for maybe converts. So that could be a very good example to how we can channel this money to these people, so they can get resort funding one way or the other, so they don't have to go out of the tenets of Islam or Sharia, in terms of getting financing.
Channeling the Zakat fund into the non-governmental organization, Islamic cooperative, as you've explained, I must tell you that Zakat institution has the most important role in determining the halal exploitation, and we must make use of it to see the fund thrive. So now the socio-economic challenges in Nigeria ranges from the rising inflation, a rising tide of insecurity, and violent conflict. What is the integrated approach for building sustainable Islamic social finance ecosystem in the country?
So regarding how to build, or what could be done to build an integrated approach, I believe the first thing we have to do is institutionalize the 3 tools, which is the Zakat or Wakaf and even Sadaqah if possible. We can institutionalize them. How like in Nigeria we currently have the Hajj Commission institutionalized both at the state level and federal level. Something similar could be done for these tools. In Malaysia now, in every state they have a Zakat body. And that's something I think we can also borrow. We can borrow that model and put it in Nigeria. Why this is important is because when it's brought to the state and both the federal level, when it becomes that way, the state is equipped with the right mechanism for distribution and collection of funds, in that they know best who are the wealthy people and how to approach them. They also know best who are the people that need this funding, which localities need it. They also know what kind of projects can be used to fund this. What do the people in the city need the most? So they could easily and efficiently disburse this money and also collect this money. And another thing I would like to add is that we have to incorporate fintech into this, because with fintech we can get adequate reporting. So everything, all the money that's coming, the money that's going, is adequately and accurately reported. And then what this does is it helps to promote transparency. And when there's transparency, then there's trust. And when there's trust, then there's confidence. The confidence in the ecosystem there's more confidence in the industry. And then when there's confidence, more people are willing to actually partake in giving their money to Zakat or whatever, because they know that it's definitely going to go somewhere and people are going to benefit from it. So when you see all this, what this whole thing does, like in hindsight, when you see it, yes, forward or years after, inshallah, when you see that, you realize that it provides a mechanism for analysis, in that years after years you're able to compare. Okay, so this year this was what the Zakat fund is, and that year, in the next year, this is what the Zakat fund. So you're able to already analyze, and you're able to know, okay, efficiently and effectively, okay, what can be done, how can things be changed, or what needs to be changed, and how can it be changed. So I believe that with this, when we're able to correctly and rightly do them, we're going to be able to have an integrated social finance system in the country.
To build and upgrade Islamic social finance in Nigeria, the first step is for us to identify social issues, how we can regulate it, the issues of regulation that you talk about. Now, talking about you talk about Islamic social finance instruments, Zakat, Wakaf, how they can address social issues. Or do you have anything to say on crowdfunding? Share with us the prospects and challenges of crowdfunding as an alternative funding option in Nigeria.
Okay, so when it comes to crowdfunding, and in current times, it's actually quickly becoming mainstream. The idea of crowdfunding, it's becoming mainstream in fintech and many countries also. So talking about from Nigerian point of view it's quite interesting, in my opinion. So when it comes to prospects of crowdfunding, Nigeria has a lot, to be honest, because first of all, we have to realize that we have a growing population, and a lot of this population are between 18 to 40 years old, and these people are very tech savvy. They are they have mobile phones. They use the internet on a daily basis. Even recently, the approximated number of people that are that use internet in Nigeria is 126 million. Around that figure. So we're realizing that there's a lot of Nigerians that actually use the internet. Also, Nigeria right now, it provides the way when we look at the economy itself, in the sense of entrepreneurial initiatives, we can see lots of things are coming up. Lots of people are coming up with ideas, and lots of businesses are opening despite the situation in the country. So all this actually give a room. They give favorable conditions for crowdfunding. But on the other hand, too, when we realize, okay, we try to see the downsides or the challenges that crowdfunding could be facing in the country right now, we realize that there's no robust regulation. The government, there's no so much, although they've issued a few, draft, they issued a few frameworks here and there, but we still need more. We still need more to be able to ensure that the people are actually protected, and these companies, when they're going out there, they're properly regulated and from their operations down. Also, there's a problem of trust, because people might not be as willing, especially in a situation that right now in the country, the internet is calm and the like. So people might be a little bit, skeptical to want to go into giving their money to crowdfunding, especially if they don't know and they're not familiar with the platform itself. Also, though I mentioned that a lot of Nigerian population actually they use the internet, but also a lot do not use the internet. The elderly population, for example, they don't use the internet. They're not really tech savvy. They don't really care about the internet. Also, there are localities in Nigeria that still, unfortunately, up till now, they either have poor internet providers, and they're not able to really get connected to the internet. So we have to look at this as challenges, and see that, okay, these are also problems that could hinder the growth of crowdfunding in the country. But when you look at it on a scale, I think they're balanced, and I think the years will tell. From 2-3 years from now, we're able to tell which one outweighs which. I do hope, and I do genuinely believe that the prospects are going to overshadow the challenges as time goes on. I think we are looking, inshallah, to see a brighter future of crowdfunding in Nigeria.
All right, Bilikis, you are from Nigeria, but for now you are still in Malaysia. And from Malaysia experience, the Islamic Finance Hub, even the recent 2022 Halal report showed that for the 9th consecutive year, Malaysia still remain at the top. So what advice do you have for Nigeria in terms of learning experience to develop their Zakat, Wakaf institutions and upgrade it? What advice do you have for Nigeria? What learning experience can we gain from Malaysia?
The first thing I would say is I believe genuinely that the government has to do more. It's doing, but it needs to do enough, because the Malaysian government really, they created a whole framework, a whole benchmark. They made sure that they wanted to, there was a report that came out that by the year of 2021 or 2022, they should have 50% of both conventional and Islamic banking. So the government have been actively involved in promoting Islamic finance, and that's something we lack in Nigeria. We don't have that government support to a large scale. They are doing something, but still they have to do more. And also we need to there should be more innovation in the Nigerian market. Things that, because we already, the way it is, as she's mentioned, now we have countries like Malaysia that have done a lot. So what we need to do is get from the Malaysian experience and try to fine-tune it to fit the Nigerian populace. The models that are working perfectly in Malaysia and other countries too that are doing well, we can replicate it but fine-tune it to fit the Nigerian populace. I think this finalizes my thought regarding that.
Thank you. Talking about technology, so how can we utilize the traditional instruments such as Zakat, Wakaf, through modern tools such as blockchain, fintech, and artificial intelligence?
Okay, starting from fintech, there are lots of things that can be done. So first of all, we can actually, digitalize the collection and distribution of Zakat. We don't have to just have the number of someone or a particular agency that does the cut, and then whatever you want to do, just go to your platform. We can just digitalize it in that directly from their platform, or even from mobile apps. We can actually just pay directly. Like these institutions have mobile apps that we can just pay directly to their causes. And also, the Islamic banks can come on board in that they can have an easy access in which people can just go. Just simply you buy your airtime, you buy your pay for a DSTV via the mobile app. You just easily pay for our Zakat with Jaiz Bank or with Taj Bank. Also one last thing. Also, I actually mentioned earlier that we have a population of Nigerians that are not into fintech. So one of the ways we can actually even bring them to pay, because a large amount of them, or large population of them, actually work. And they have businesses, So one of the ways we can make sure that they're paying Zakat, also we can also use the fintech tool of mobile payment. But though it's offline banking, but it also uses the mobile number. It's very common in Kenya. They call it M-Pesa there. So we could borrow an example from them and bring it to Nigeria. And so this population of people that are not tech savvy can also come in. When it comes to blockchain, also what we could do is, right now in Malaysia there's a fintech company called Kuntara, and they've deployed Wakaf they've integrated Wakaf on blockchain. And what this does, it gives more transparency. People are able to, and they actually feel more comfortable giving Wakaf because they can see where their money is going to. So we can easily bring that also to Nigeria. There's no harm in taking from people that are doing and that have worked in bringing it to our own in our own society. And the good thing is, when we're able to do this, when we're able to grow, and we're able to incorporate this successfully in the Nigerian system, and more people are on board, more people they trust the system, they're able to, they want to do more, they want to be more actively involved in Zakat and Wakaf. What this does is it increases the amount of information. It increases the amount of information available, and then they can easily put the AI inside to make it more efficient and effective. You understand? So I think in this way, we're going to be able to, use these tools to be able to enhance the situation of Islamic social finance tools in the country.
Thank you very much, Bilikis, for your insights and sharing your perspective with us on Islamic social finance in Nigeria. We appreciate your intervention. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
Bye.
It's been a pleasure. Bye.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, in its recent revised growth forecast, warned that the global economy is facing a risk of recession if the Russian aggression in Ukraine persists. This is why the uncertainties in the global economy provide the avenue for Islamic social finance to be adopted as a viable option for providing relief and support to economies like Nigeria that are already facing fiscal challenges. It will go a long way in addressing this widening socioeconomic imbalance in the country. That will be all for this edition of the Islamic Finance Weekly. You can visit our website www.proshare.co to read our news stories and watch our videos. You can also engage us on the social media platforms displayed on the screen. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching. Have a nice day and stay safe.